Hey.
I'm joined with Ratha Ali from the Asiyah Women's Center based in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. She's the operations manager. That's right, right? Thank you so much for your time. We're going to talk about RamadanCon 2024 and just a little bit about the intentions, the fundraising, the event itself. Ramadan is long gone, but Ratha, tell me a little bit about how much of this event aligned with the Women's Center mission statement.
All of it, thankfully, our fundraising goals every Ramadan. That's kind of where we get majority of our funding. Thankfully, folks are just a lot more giving during the holy month. I don't know if you know about LaunchGood. It's a crowdfunding platform for Muslim folks to be able to donate to different causes of their choice. And every year they host a competition, a Ramadan referral competition, where every time a charity or a cause or organization gets a sign up, and Launch Good matches that donation with $100. And what a sign up entails essentially is agreeing to a recurring donation of a minimum of $3 every night for the 30 nights of Ramadan that don't go to us, that go to organizations of the donor's choice. But the money that does go to us is the money that Lunch Good matches that donation with. And so our huge goal for Ramadan was to try and get $2 million dollars for Gaza. We centered our Lunch Good campaign around Gaza and then ended up adding Sudan as well. And $2 million dollars for DV survivors in turn, because we would get $100 for every donation, for every sign up. And that $3 at minimum ends up adding up to around $100 with tax at the end of the month. And so that Ramadan Khan was initially one of our ways of pushing out the campaign as well and getting more signups. That kind of was the biggest goal behind it. And like I said, I mean, Dania had the idea and we had 3 weeks to execute it, and amazing folk came together and worked together tirelessly every single night. We were on Zoom every night until 10 p.m., sometimes 11 p.m., just trying to crank out all the details. And it took a village, but alhamdulillah, it got done. It didn't unfortunately meet our $2 million goal on Launch Good, partly because there ended up being like technical issues. But the level of traction that we got on social media, I believe too, was huge after Ramadan Khan. And we do intend on making this a yearly event, inshallah. So I think that'll just help us every year grow more every year as well, making Ramadan Khan a household name.
And I think even just by the turnout for the time crunch that you all were on, I noticed the event was all about representation for the community by the community, right?
Yeah.
I noticed the bazaar itself also featured a lot of Muslim small businesses. So tell me a little bit about that aspect, about being mindful, of course, of the politics. You mentioned before how even getting the venue going was very tricky because everything mattered, right? Your intentions had to be very pro-Gaza, pro-Palestine. So
Yeah.
please tell me about how that came about.
It was really important for us to make sure that the community felt like they were involved in the event more than just being a guest. So, you can feel like you're giving back by showing up and by donating, but then to be able to be present, feel like you're giving back, but then also being able to be supported and received by that same community. This is really important for us as well. And yes, we were intentional about catering to the Muslim community and having Muslim vendors as well. But we also wanted to be inclusive of folks that weren't necessarily Muslim. And we got a lot of different guests and folks that just were there for the cause. Thankfully, a lot of people that are non-Muslim are very dedicated to the Palestinian cause and Gaza relief. And we got to see that as well at Ramadan Khan. To be able to have folks from the community um, receive as well in this one space was really important to us.
Right. And obviously Ramadan is long gone and the event is well over, but I noticed like there wasn't much media coverage, even like in my research and trying to get this together. I thought somebody would pick up the fact that all the Muslims are all together and in one spot, bringing in the month and also just talking about what's going on. And there was nothing. And I was just like, wow. Um, Where's the
Yeah.
coverage? And so I gotta ask you, as someone leading that, how does that feel for you, putting in all this work and not seeing that get picked up? I just gotta ask about that.
Yeah. We didn't really feel it because our intention, like I said, was for the community to show out for the community, and the community showed out for us as well. Everyone there was raving about the event. I know we had so hundreds of people posting and tagging RamadanCon that night, and so we got a lot of coverage on social media through the community. Um, I don't know honestly if we expected any like larger coverage on the event, to be honest, but the influencers as well helped out with getting a lot of that out into social media channels and stuff. So I mean, I don't know that we were bothered, honestly. We hit our target, the folks that we wanted to appease, I guess, or have know about the event and see about the event. They did. And inshallah, with every year, we're just going to grow even more. And maybe coverage on a larger scale is something that we can look into as we plan this further and get more seasoned in planning such a large event. Inshallah, next year we won't do it within 3 weeks. We'll have more time to do so. So, and I just, if we were able to pull that off in 3 weeks, I'm sure 6 months, for example, we'll have just an even better turnout, inshallah.
I have to say, knowing that this came about in 3 weeks, it just makes me wonder about that first panel. It got so silent, and I think everybody was just in awe about how that came about. So please tell me a little bit about getting those journalists on the ground and knowing the risks involved. How did that happen? How did that come about?
So, like I said, Dania, our director, she's a visionary, and when she wants something to happen, it happens. Just initially, like knowing that there's going to be a journalist that's on the ground in Gaza meeting with us, it felt a little off, but seeing the lack of hesitation on their end and the enthusiasm on their end to get the message across and to speak to folks and to see that support as well was
Mm,
on the biggest reasons why we went through with it. And honestly, it was really, really tough to pull that off, just because of the goals that we had with broadcasting it, having it live, having it be on a screen, and for us to be able to Skype them in, the time difference, and then just all the technical things that come with that, and trying to figure that out in such a short time span. Everything came together. It just, I don't know. Like, that's been my answer. People have asked, like, how did you guys pull this off? My only answer is God. I don't know. Like, he was there. He definitely helped us out. He cleared the road for us in many ways.
mm.
Um, because it's like, it doesn't make sense that we were able to pull that off in such short time.
Okay, and just a little bit on the community response. I have to know, I mean, I was like I think everybody was just like willing to listen to whatever the journalist had to say, and regardless of the technical difficulties, that room was engaged, I will say.
Yeah.
So please tell me a little bit about what were the just the responses after that panel and months after the event, what has been the response?
A lot of the guests didn't necessarily know that that was even happening. I think a lot of folks didn't really like um pay too much detail into every single, because there was a lot going on. It was a lot to read, a lot to see, like all of the things that were happening. And so a lot of people were very surprised that that was even happening is at all. People were really touched and really grateful for the opportunity to be able to show these journalists that the numbers that we can pull together in one room just to come and support and show that we're one of the small bodies of people that come together and rally together to show our solidarity for Palestine. physically, monetarily, and alhamdulillah. And I think it was really, a lot of folks were just really touched and endeared by the whole thing, and we're grateful for the experience.
Beautiful. And is there anything else you'd like to say about RamadanCon or about the Asiyah Women's Center, your work, your time, anything? Final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, the Asiyah Women's Center, I'm not saying this just because I work here, but it really is a gift to the community. It's a gift to the survivors, it's a gift to the employers as well. Alhamdulillah, Dania being able to have the opportunity to change people's lives, and all of us being able to have a hand in that is just an experience that I I know she is, and all of us are eternally grateful for here at the Asiyah Women's Center. Um, I always knew Asiyah was doing big things and was gonna do big things, but when you're so like trauma focused and your work is focused solely on a lot of helping people with their trauma and transitioning, it being able to see our work shift into such a space was so inspiring. I know for all of us, but for me personally as well, just to see the places that we can go individually as an organization. And it just like seeing like I kind of saw like a glimpse of our trajectory and how far we're gonna go, and just knowing that um we're gonna hopefully have the opportunity to pull this off every year and just make it grow even more, inshallah. And I'm really excited about it, and I'm really, really grateful to have been a part of the planning team for Ramadan Khan. Um, it was tough, but I got a crash course on event planning. It was my first time having any experience with planning an event, and for that to be my first, I mean, I'm honored. It was amazing. It was a wonderful experience all in all.
Beautiful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.